Good afternoon, everyone. Today we are going to see a presentation based on our problem statement called Phishing Detection Solution. Let me introduce my problem statement. My problem statement ID is KVH-004 and problem statement title is Phishing Detection Solution, and our team name is called the DEVACKS. Our team leader name is called Yasser SH, and other of our team members name are called Lakshminarana T from 3rd year CSBS of RMK Engineering College, Jisha Aravind of 2nd year CSBS of RMK Engineering College, Amira Farha from 2nd year CSBS of RMK Engineering College, Varshan V from 3rd year CSBS of RMK Engineering College, Praveen G from 3rd year CSBS of RMK Engineering College. Let me get into our presentation. Idea details. First of all, let me explain what is phishing. Phishing is a kind of website in which the primary object is to identify the fraudulent website that emits as a legitimate one, and they try to steal a user's personal information, in which they obtain a user's email ID and their password. So through this they can get into their account and can collect in personal informations like bank account and etc. And nowadays even our email account are connected to our phone, so by hacking our email ID we can even control our phone by like the camera or the call recording or the files inside it. So getting into one's email ID can get informations like personal informations like more than we think. Like we can even get into the drive which contains many personal files and even into the bank accounts. So let me describe our idea detail. The website's primary objective is to identify fraudulent website that pose as legitimate ones in an effort to steal users' personal information and prevent phishing. As I explained, the main motive of the user, and that is the scammer, is to get the login details of a user and get into their account and get their personal information. The ability to impersonate reputable URLs and web pages in order to gather sensitive information is largely decided by how convincing the website seem and function when compared to those of such sources. So these phishing websites may exactly look like a legitimate website, so which makes us more confusing and which makes more trustable. So we don't even think it about a second time and we just enter our email ID and information. In order to gain insight and recognize a phishing site utilizing the gradient booster classifier idea of machine learning, we plan to examine the phishing website input into the ML model and establish a pattern of their operation. So prevent this, we have collected a data set full of phishing website from various fish tank websites, and we just upload into the machine learning, and the machine learning studies the phishing websites that has been uploaded in the dataset using the machine learning and deep learning algorithms. So by doing this, they get prepared and they also get ready to detect what and how a phishing website would be like. And if any other anonymous website asks for a login credentials, it just recognizes whether it's a phishing website or a legitimate website, and it intimate us that it's a phishing website if it's a phishing website. The URLs from all the current phishing sites are gathered via the fish tank server and added to a dataset that is later used to train the machine learning model and deep neural networks. As I said, this phishing websites are collected from various fish tank server and added to a dataset that is later used to train the machine learning model and deep neural network. Let us discuss the use case of this project. There are two use cases for this process. One is user phase and the second is training phase. Let us first discuss the user phase. An anonymous fisher sends an anonymous phishing website URL, and this URL has been sent to the machine learning, and this machine learning using classification identifies whether it's a phishing website or a legitimate website. So how this machine learning detects whether it's a phishing or a legitimate website? It depends on how the machine learning has been trained. So let us discuss the training phase of the machine learning. We upload a data set full of phishing websites URL which is obtained from various fish tank websites. Using the dataset, the ML get trained with the help of 6 algorithms called decision tree, random forest, and support vector machine, XGBoost, autoencoder neural network, and multi-layer perceptor. These 6 algorithms help to study the URLs in the datasets and analyze how phishing website would be like. These suitable algorithms of 6 is chosen by the gradient boosting classifier algorithm. That is, the best of the 6 algorithms are chosen by gradient boosting classifier by which algorithm will be suitable for which website. The algorithm study the phishing URLs in the dataset using 17 features which is based on the address bar, domain based, and HTML JavaScript based. This is how the machine learning is trained using this dataset with the help of algorithm. Let us discuss the dependencies of this project. First dependencies are training the dataset, which helps the neural networks to understand how a phishing website would be like. And the second is machine learning models and the deep learning algorithms, which is used for the machine learning to study the dataset and analyze how a phishing website would be like. The showstoppers, user awareness. These kind of procedures are clearly explained to the users that how it is used and how it has been running. Integration. This integration means like with updating technologies, this process or the project can also be updated with it. Privacy concern, and the next is privacy concern means like it helps and to prevent your login credentials, which helps to keep your personal information more safe. Okay, next let us discuss how does the machine learning studies the dataset, like studies the website which has been uploaded in the dataset, like on the what features that the machine learning studies the phishing website URLs. First is the address bar. In the address bar, there are 9 factors called, and the first one is the domain of the URL, and the second one is the IP address in URL, and the third is @ symbol in URL, and the fourth is length of URL, fifth is depth of URL, and the sixth is redirect in URL, and the seventh is the HTTPS protocol in domain name using URL shortening service, and the last one is prefix or suffix in domain. And the second factor is domain based. There are 4 features in this domain base. First is DNS record and age of domain, website traffic, and the last is end period of the domain. And the last factors is called HTML and JavaScript based, which has another more 4 features. First is iframe redirection, and the second is status bar customization, and the third is disabling right click, and the last and final one is website forwarding. So the machine learning is totally trained by observing these 17 features of the 3 factors, and it learns how does a phishing website would be like. Now let us discuss the algorithms used in this project. Machine learning models and trainings. From the dataset that has been uploaded, it is clear that this is a supervised machine learning task. There are 2 major types of supervised machine learning problems called classification and regression. This dataset comes under classification problem, as the input URL is classified as phishing or legitimate. The supervised machine learning models considered to train the dataset in this notebook are decision tree, random forest, XGBoost, autoencoder neural network, multi-layer perceptrons, support vector machines. Let us discuss the decision tree classifier. Decision trees are a widely used model for classification and regression tasks. Essentially, they learn a hierarchy of if-else questions leading to a decision. Learning a decision tree means learning the sequence of if-else questions that gets us to the true answers most quickly. In a machine learning setting, these questions are called tests. To build a tree, the algorithm searches over all possible trees and finds one that is most informative about the target variable. And the next is random forest classifier. Random forest for regression and classification are currently among the most widely used machine learning models. A random forest is essentially a collection of decision tree where each tree is slightly different from one another. The idea behind random forest is that each tree might do a relatively good job of predicting but will likely overfit on part of the data. If we build many trees, all of which work well and overfit in different ways, we can reduce the amount of overfitting by averaging their results. To build a random forest model, you need to decide on the number of trees to build. They are very powerful, often work well without heavy tuning of the parameters, and don't require scaling of the data. And the next is the XGBoost classifier. XGBoost is one of the most popular machine learning algorithms these days. XGBoost stands for extreme gradient boosting, regardless of the type of prediction task at hand, regression or classification. XGBoost is an implementation of gradient boost decision trees for speed and performance. Autoencoder neural network. An autoencoder is a neural network that has the same number of input neurons as it does outputs. The hidden layers of the neural network will have fewer neurons than the input or output neurons. Because there are fewer neurons, the autoencoder must learn to encode the input of the fewer hidden neurons. The predictions of X and output of Y are exactly the same in autoencoder. Multi-layer perceptrons. It's one of deep learning algorithms. Multi-layer perceptrons are also known as feed-forward neural network or sometimes just neural networks. Multi-layer perceptrons can be applied for both classification and regression problems. MLPs, that is multi-layer perceptrons, can be viewed as generalization of linear models that perform multiple stages of processing to come to a decision. And the last one is the support vector machine. In machine learning, support vector machines are supervised learning model with associated learning algorithms that analyze data used for classification, regression analysis. Given set of training examples, each marked as belonging to one or the other of two categories, an SVM training algorithm builds a model that assigns new example to one category or the other, making it non-probabilistically binary linear classifier. And this is our team member details and their specialization. Yasser is our team leader, and Lakshminarayanan T. CSB from CSBS third year is a machine learning specialist, and Jisha Aravind from second year CSBS has specialized in full stack developer. Amira Farha, second year of CSBS, is a front end developer. Version V of CSBS third year is a database manager, and Praveen G of third year CSBS is a backend developer. And we have our mentors named C. Indumadi ma'am from academic, and as also specializing in machine learning with experience of 13 years. And our next mentor is Jansi Ida ma'am, who has a specialization in big data analytics with 16 years of experience. Thank you. Thank you for one and all who has been watching this video. Thank you so much.